how to have a highly profitable insurance business. It comes down to 4 key elements, 4 focuses that your business has to have, and it also comes down to understanding a couple of very important metrics.
This video is sponsored by none other than Lead Heroes, you guys. Lead Heroes has got you covered when it comes to telemarketed leads and virtual staffing. On the lead side, whether it be Medicare supplement leads, final expense leads, turning 65 leads, they just got something for everybody. They can also actually have you plug in with one of their virtual staff members on the staffing side to where you can pay by the hour for one of their trained and very well vetted staff members to help you out in your business in a virtual assistant format. Just because you watch this video, they're going to give you 10% off any order you make on their website. Link to the site can be found down in the description, so go ahead and check them out.
So you want your business to be highly profitable. You want to make sure that it is absolutely a well-oiled machine and that it just keeps churning and churning for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I believe is the key elements of having a very, very profitable insurance business and making sure that your business has the characteristics of being very profitable. And this is essentially long-term what you want your business to grow into. People are going to be watching this video of all different places in your career. Maybe you're a brand new agent. Some of this stuff might be a little bit over your head and you might not be ready for it yet. But come back to this video in a year or two and rewatch it once you've really got kind of a foundation built under you, right? Because this is going to be some big boy conversations, or advanced conversation, I should say, for people that are maybe more advanced in the industry and far along. There's also going to be people that are looking to take their place from in the business from here to here and kind of just level up. These are going to be conversations you're going to want to know about. So I want to start off by talking about 4 key characteristics that your business needs to have. Those 4 key elements are culture, brand, lead flow, and efficiency. I'm going to break down each one at a time. Okay, let's start with culture. You need a strong culture in your business, right? You need a culture that people can just kind of feel that the energy is a little bit different, right? This is essentially something that is very, very important, right? You can't have a strong culture if you're a dick all the time to everybody in your office. You can't have a strong culture if your employees are afraid of you, right? But on the flip side, you can't have a strong culture if people think that you are a doormat and you can just be walked all over. They can take advantage of you. There needs to be a balance there to where you treat your employees well, but at the same time, there is a very strong and very clear expectation that when you come into work, you're here to work. And not only are you here to work, we expect things to get done in the quickest, fastest, best, most efficient ways possible. And we're a company that is looking for growth. Right? Culture is such an important thing. Now, a lot of culture, I should say, not part of it, but a lot of culture starts at the top. It starts with the leader. It starts with you. However, it also is highly, highly impacted by the people that you bring into the business, the people that you surround yourself with. So you need to be very, very cautious, right? You might have heard the term hire slow, fire fast, right? I think that's a very wise thing to say. Not that you should be looking to fire people. Actually, I mean, I try to do everything I can in my office not to fire people. But if somebody's not a fit and it's clear and there's just no way around it, keeping them on is a terrible thing that you can do for your culture, right? They can be a toxin, and you just can't allow that to happen in your business. So culture, number 1, is incredibly important. Number 2, brand, right? You need a strong brand, right? If everything you're doing is generic and transactional with your clients and your customers, it's going to be far too easy for somebody else to kind of step into your shoes and you be replaced. You need your customers to love, embrace, and most importantly, be familiar with your brand. Think about the most successful businesses in the world in every different walk of life. They're all incredibly well-known, branded, and everybody knows them and likes their products, right? And kind of likes what they do. Right? Everybody knows these different businesses. People need to know your business. Your brand needs to be established. And that's why you should be putting your branding on everything. Put your brand and your logo on envelopes, on postcards, on websites, on Facebook pages, on email communications. It should be absolutely everywhere. On pens, on letter openers, on back scratchers, on all different kinds of promotional items. Always be branding. Always be branding in your business if you're at a point where you can afford to do so, right? If you have 2 clients, then you not need to worry about branding quite yet. But when you're establishing an actual company and not just you yourself working out of your house, that's when you really start to need to be focusing on brand. At the beginning, you are the brand, right? People are working with you, not a group of people, not an organization. They're working just with you. So brand, right? Make sure that your brand is well established, well respected. Get lots of reviews online if you can help it, and make sure that your brand is well established. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, lead flow, right? A thriving business, a profitable business cannot be so without new customers coming through all the time, constantly, consistently. Make sure that you are investing properly into your business. Make sure that you are investing in your own knowledges about marketing, right? Or you're finding somebody out there that you can partner with to do that marketing for you. But you need constant lead flow all of the time. It cannot turn off. Your business needs to be a revolving door for new customers coming in. Not necessarily people coming out, but people coming in. You want new clients, right? Revolving doors, active lead flow in large volumes, and this cannot be ignored. You can't grow and you can't be profitable if you don't have consistent lead flow. It just is impossible. There is no profitable insurance business that doesn't have that. And understand that you absolutely have to have this. Okay, so number 4 is efficiency. What do I mean by efficiency? Well, if you can outsource something, you should outsource it. Get it off your plate. Get it off of your team's plate. If you can automate something, automate it. Get it off of your plate. Get it off of your team's plate. Automate everything you can. Outsource everything that you can't automate. And then handle something in-house that you can't do either one with, right? That would be my philosophy for you watching this video. If you are following up with your leads and you're texting them, you're sending emails to them, get a system to automate that for you. If you're leaving voicemails when you're calling leads, stop doing that. Get a system to do that for you. Eric Fierro's DFY, by the way. I have videos all about that if you want to check that out. Comment DFY and I'll link that video for you. But find systems to help you automate. We used to internally do all of our birthday cards, thank you cards for our new clients. I used to handwrite them myself. My handwriting was terrible, so then my assistant started doing them, and it just took up a lot of her time. And we would print birthday letters and send them out. Now it's completely automated. It's hands off. It just automatically happens through a good old service called Thanks.io. Find ways to automate your business. Remove tasks from your plate, because the more mundane and just mind-numbing tasks that you can take off of your plate, the more you can focus on what really matters, and that's income-producing activities. Now, I also wanted to talk about a couple of metrics with you that are going to be important for you to know, for you to understand if you're really going to be a profitable business. The first one is cost per acquisition, and the second one is lifetime value of a client. These are the numbers and the metrics that large insurance agencies, call centers, large insurance businesses use on a day-to-day basis and use it to calculate their spending, their metrics, and their overall profitability when it comes to their own internal businesses. These are things that you need to be thinking about as well. So what do these terms mean? Let's first talk about cost per acquisition. People are always thinking about their cost per lead. How can I get my cost per lead as low as possible? How can I get a $5 lead? How can I get a $10 lead? How can I get whatever this might be, right? And that is the wrong way to look at it. I've actually never seen a badass in our industry worry about cost per lead. Never. I only see struggling new broke agents talk about cost per lead as if that's the only thing that matters. What large and profitable and successful organizations think about is cost per acquisition. Cost per acquisition is the average cost that organization spends to get a client. And some people think the lower that number, the better. I used to actually think that. I had a mentor that sold her business for 9 figures get on the phone with me and tell me the cost per acquisition for your business is too low. And I was like, wait a minute, it's too low? Don't you want to be spending as little as possible to acquire a client? I'll explain what he meant by that and kind of what this actually means. At the time when I talked to him on the phone, I was probably spending, I calculated my cost per acquisition, it was probably about $100 per client, which is incredibly low. Large companies have $300 and $400 cost per acquisitions. Now there is a point where it can be too high, right? I mean, if you're spending $1,000 on an average cost per acquisition, that might be an issue. But if you're spending less than $100 on a cost per acquisition for a client, if you're spending $100, $150, the goal should be to get that up to $250, $300, $350 on a cost per acquisition basis. Now, why? Why do you want to spend more to acquire a client versus less? Well, it's very simple. If you are focused on getting that number down as small as possible, it probably means there's less business being written, right? A person that gets 5 referrals in a month and writes all 5 has a $0 cost per acquisition. Are they better off than an office that writes 100 policies and they have a $250 cost per acquisition? Never. I'd rather be the person that wrote more business that had the $250 cost per acquisition 10 times out of 10 versus the person that had 5 referrals, $0 cost per acquisition, because they have 5 policies versus 100. So sometimes when you're actually getting to the point of scale and leveling up and increasing efforts and increasing production, it comes with spending more money and finding ways to get in more volume over the course of time. And this means the cost per acquisition goes up. Hope you follow me there. And now, why would a company want a $300 cost per acquisition, right? That means they're probably almost breaking even, if not making very little profit. Well, the other metric I want to talk to you about is lifetime value of a customer, lifetime value of a client. The lifetime value of a client is the estimated lifetime profitability that you'll have on average with a client. So what is the average years that a client stays with you? Think about that. Is it only 1 or 2? That's a problem. Is it 5, 6, 7? That's actually not too bad. Is it 10? That's terrific. How long is a client staying with you? A big reason why these large publicly traded call centers are in trouble right now, massively, is their lifetime value of the client is only a year or 2. It's not very long. People leave them really fast. Now, you want people to stay with you. You want people to come into your business and stay for a while. Sit down, kick your feet up, have a cup of coffee, stay for a while. The lifetime value of a client, let's just say a healthy one, is 6 years. Let's say your first year average commission is $300. Might be more, might be less, but let's just say for the sake of example. A 6-year lifetime value, a 6-year average retention rate. And some will stay more, some will stay less, right? Obviously, but we're looking at the average as a whole, right? And when you're looking at large numbers, the average as a whole. If they stay for 6 years, that means the lifetime value of your client is $1,800. So big organizations look at it like they spend $300 for a client, right, for their average cost per acquisition, and they make $1,800. Maybe not all right at once, but they just looked at it like they made $1,800 for the organization in a vacuum. So they're comfortable to spend $300 to make $18. They're playing a different game than you are. Long term, these are the metrics you need to understand and embrace and use in your business when you're calculating different kind of metrics and growth strategies in your business model. Anyway, guys, what did you think about this video? Did you agree with me? Did you disagree with me? Was it good stuff? Would you like to see more videos like this? Do me a favor, like the video so I know that you actually enjoyed this kind of topic. Because the only way is if you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Did I leave anything out that you feel is important? I'd love to have a dialogue about it. Make sure to subscribe to this video if you like this type of content. We put out weekly videos just like this. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Here's to your success and your abundance. Thanks, guys.